updated version of the chill stream, we saw some more things get added, a couple of new messages, and even some more details that have changed since the last time we checked in on Taylor. However, there were also some things that allowed us to connect the dots on some mysteries and potentially solve them, which means we might have actually found out how many LoreFi victims there are, and even what happened to them. However, there are a few things we need to get through before talking about it. But before we do that, please do subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Subscribing is the best way to support my channel as it allows me to make more videos and lets me reach more milestones. I really want to hit 400k before VidCon in June, so if you could just check to see that you are subscribed, that would be great. Thank you, and back to the video. So as of writing this video, we have so far gotten the gaming stream and an updated version of the chill stream. The gaming stream gave us puzzles and codes to work with. Working out the games led us to getting the word cool, and potentially working out a number. But this isn't something I want to focus on today. Instead, I want to focus on the updated chill stream, and exactly what was mentioned in it. During the update of the stream, the LoreFi account, ran by Dan Cyber at the time and Das Noman, were in the chat, and it came to the point where they started talking about bags. Bags of hints, bags of chips, bags of bodies, bags of mints. It seemed particularly suspicious that they kept mentioning these bags. Well, Discord theorists made the discovery of 4 strange images that looked to be bags underwater. And these don't look like ordinary bags, they look like body bags. 4 body bags to be exact, all dumped at the bottom of a lake. Likely Mallard Lake. But why are we looking at Mallard Lake? Well, because that is precisely where Gregory Daniels' bag was found. And mallard is simply another word for duck, which also explains all the duck imagery when it comes to LoreFi. If we look at Mallard Lake in Hanover, Illinois, there are multiple lakes in that area, places that would be more than ideal for potential hiding bodies. But when we look around it, it's also a forest preserve, which means a lot of shaded room from the public, and if you wanted to run a base of operations for kidnapping and murdering kids, then it's probably the perfect spot. Hypothetically. But then why? We understand that they kidnap people in a park, ask them to confess their sins and drown them, and yes, I have a feeling they drown them alive because of the fact we hear them putting duct tape on Gregory before the end of Ignorance is Bliss, which either sounds like they're trying to keep him silent or wrapping him up for his turn in the water. But then why would you want to advertise that? Remember, LoreFi recorded themselves saying this, effectively taking over different songs that got distributed and allowed for multiple people, including Taylor, to download it. Well, I believe that either the LoreFi killer isn't working alone and has someone on the inside that's leaking information, or is playing a much more intricate game than we realised. What if the one that put the virus on Ayana's song isn't the LoreFi killer? What if the duck doesn't represent the LoreFi killer at all? It represents a wing. Because ducks, they have wings. Okay, not the strongest evidence right now, but how about the fact that we only recently started hearing about the virus, but it turns out Wing of Disharmony's songs have been strange for a while now. These forums go back months, or mentioning their songs have been strange. Wing's songs have been having problems for a while now, even before Sephi's song was on there. When confronted, Wing acted as though there was nothing wrong in her part, and even tried stating that it was Sephi's issue because it was her song. But we know that this problem has been happening before. Why would they lie about this? Or at least not tell the whole truth? Despite what they say, I don't believe that Wing is innocent in this. As far as we know, this is a random person that Taylor has decided to work with on this case. Is it coincidence that they came in contact? Or was this manufactured? I believe Wing of Disharmony is the one who created the virus. Now, there's 2 ways to look at it. Either wing of Disharmony is trying to stop the LoreFi killer from the inside. They know the power the LoreFi killer holds within the police force, and therefore they don't turn to them immediately, instead spreading the voice of the victims through her music until someone was willing to listen. Someone who can help her free these kids, that being Taylor, who immediately gets to work to look for them. Wing then anonymously provides help along the way, pointing them in the right direction so they have a chance to stop this. However, that is one interpretation. The good interpretation. The other is that they are really the killer. Wing uses the sound to scare people into listening. They convince Taylor to look deeper into this case and to not trust the police, which will inevitably lead to Taylor likely searching for Gregory Daniels on her own, putting her in the position of being the next victim. Wing finds the targets and lures them in. It's possible that Taylor will find the evidence pointing her in the direction of Mallard Lake for where Gregory is. Since she doesn't trust the police, she'll go by herself, and that will lead her into their trap. But then why? What makes someone a reasonable target? The LoreFi killer seems to be obsessed with the idea of sins and effectively killing sinners. However, how does that connect to Taylor? Considering the only thing we've seen her do is download music, that can't possibly be the sin we're talking about here, right? But what if Taylor isn't sin-free? And what if we are being misled? Let's talk about the Shadow Guy. The Shadow Guy has continuously followed Taylor throughout the changing of the streams. He's been in almost all of her notes so far, watching her. And actually, in previous theories, when we've talked about shadows that aren't even about LoreFi, we've mentioned how shadows can represent guilt. And what if that's what's happening here? Taylor is drawing depictions of this shadow following her menacingly, but we know that shadow isn't the killer because the first time we see the shadow in action, it opens Taylor's door and says hi to her, who we can assume to be a family member. In her family picture, we know that she's an only child because we can't see any other siblings. Taylor's dad is messaging her rather than talking to her in person, so we can assume that he's not currently in the house, so that leaves one option: her mother. Which could suggest her guilt is coming from her mum. It's quite difficult to tell what it would be about, but since it's clear that her dad's no longer in the house and she doesn't want to talk to him, it has to be something to do with that. Because truthfully, there is something haunting Taylor, and it's not her downloading music. Her choice to ignore it and focus on these missing kids cases may be what causes her to fall right into the LoreFi killer's trap, becoming another drowned body in the many that inhabit Mallard Lake. But what do you guys think? Are we onto something here? Thank you guys so much for watching. These videos are always fun for me to make, so it's great to know that you guys enjoy them as well. Thank you to my members. Once again, your support for this channel is why I can continue to make videos, and I appreciate it so much. But if you can't be a member, that's okay. I'm thankful for everyone who's subscribed to this channel. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!